One of the craziest lenses I've ever seen on the internet is the Pro2be Lens by Laowa, and I've always wanted to try it out, but I've never had the opportunity to do it. And so I thought I'll reach out to them and see whether I can rent something out. So they came back to me and they said, well, we actually have a new lens kit coming out. So I thought I'll take up that opportunity instead, and they have kindly sent me this very special piece of equipment. So I wanted to make a video and share with you guys how this all works and also what I've been able to do with it. So let's cover a few key fundamentals about this lens and why it makes it so great. So this is the standard Pro2be lens. And the great thing about this is getting into those awkward angles and creating unique perspectives. It's really exciting to see that they've slightly upgraded this, because now it just feels, I would say, like this is quite robust. I think it's got cine housing on it, so this kind of surface and everything is really solid, and it means that you can kind of be more adventurous with what you want to do with it. The other key part about this is it's waterproof along the barrel. So from here all the way up to this red line, completely waterproof. And the new adapted lens is actually 36.6 centimeters in length now, which means that you can go just that little bit further into those awkward spaces. Whereas in comparison, this is the 35-degree lens. And obviously the build is exactly the same, but the only difference is the angle in which you see the image. And you can see how this goes from high to low angles with this lens, meaning you can create those really powerful perspectives, as well as going and tracking up sort of surfaces or different objects depending on, you know, where they are or the different heights of them. And I think this is great because it adds a completely new dynamic to the Pro2be lens and also saves you a bit of time. Because if you, for instance, in these kind of positions where you have a standard lens and you're trying to get it in the correct position, well, you don't actually have to angle this at all. It's already angled for you. So you can go further into your area that you want to go and also maintain the same angle. So none of this tilting or awkwardness. And I think what makes this whole kit really unique is the last lens. So this is the Periscope. And what makes this bonkers is the fact that you can have something going horizontally like this, and you're now seeing the image right at the top up here. And it's the same if you wanted to rotate these, is if you went underneath, you get an extremely low center image, and that allows you to also run along and track objects whilst you're all the way up here. And a couple of things that have already come to my mind is how you could potentially create different perspectives with this in relation to drones. So I have seen a clip already of somebody going around and creating these very low shot angles, weaving in and out of things. And now how this can actually be used to potentially create drone style shots for smaller objects. So if you think about people who do miniatures or create very bespoke setups, they can now go around maybe using a robotic arm or a gimbal potentially, but they can track around and start following objects and tracking them, and it should create the illusion, being at that wide angle, of a drone perspective. Let's get to the creative part, and I will show you what I've been doing with this 3-in-1 lens kit and some of the concepts that I've come up for short video clips. Now, I've always wanted to try the Pro2be lens and just do something a bit crazy with it. So my concept that I've come up with is having this plastic tubing in a spiral formation going all the way to the end product, which is prime energy. And then what I've got is lemons and limes and some fake ice, just to give it a bit more depth to it and add some interesting elements. Now, what's going to happen, hopefully, is the liquid is going to be sucked up, which is actually down here to the side, going all the way through the tube, and as the Pro2be lens is going through, it's going to then spiral round and round to the end product. Yeah, let's just give it a go. it's time to try the 35 degree and see what I can do with this. So I realised quite quickly on that this was quite a difficult lens to use with my gimbal, slider or tripod, and that's only because for the shot that I was trying to do, it didn't really work. So the way that I'm going to try do this is ride it off the back wall, over the product and down through the coffee beans, but I'm going to do this handheld. So the only way that I feel that I can combat this is recording it in 120 frames per second, so when I slow it down, speed ramp it, it's going to look a bit smoother and not as jittery. So as you can see, that lens was pretty tough to use, just with the amount of weight that we had to shift from over the top and down to where the beans are. But it doesn't mean we couldn't get the shot, and I think 120 frames per second was the right choice, just to remove any jitters or awkward shakes, even though I know that there was still a few in the clips. It's all something that we can work and improve on. So I'm now going to move on to the periscope. There could be a few issues with this again, but I'm really excited because it's such a unique lens to add to Laowa's kit, and it could be very, very cool if we get the right shot. Let's try it. I think I've managed to do something quite clever with the periscope lens. The idea I had for this shot was to weave in and out of these products. And yeah, I had to default to another handheld shot because the gimbal and slider for me was just too safe to go in and out and at a low angle, and that was it. Whereas I was talking earlier about this drone perspective, and I think it would be really cool to create dynamic angles with tilting and extra movement as you go through all of these products. The only way that I could get around this was by adding in these pads at the bottom and sides, which acts as like a little cushion for me when I'm tilting. And then that way it actually reduces all of those awkward jitters as I'm tilting and rotating. Otherwise it would be just clashing against the metal framing. So let me know what you think, and I just really like how this has turned out. So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed what I've been able to do with this 3-in-1 kit that Laowa has sent to me. And thanks so much to them for allowing me to even do this and create this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.